Good morning, good morning. Today will be in English because problem is international, so difficult for explanation in Polish, but maybe some colleagues working in Jordan and in Egypt and surrounding countries will be interested in this small presentation. So, will be about flints from Egypt and from Jordan because of work in Delta together with team of Professor Ciałowicz, Krzysztof Ciałowicz, and Marek Chłodnicki appeared problem if there are in this site in Delta some flints from region of Palestine and region of Jordan. If there was any exchange of materials between these two places in the past, in the Neolithic and early dynastic. And because of this, I tried to look for the relation between Egyptian flints and flints from Jordan, from sites. Some descriptions that you can read later, but many thanks Elizabeth Dubis, archaeologist who worked in the Tel El Umeiri in Jordan and collected samples for my examination, for my tests of similarity. And before discussion concerning relation between region of Palestine and region of Jordan and East Delta, and especially relation between flints, it's necessary to say some words about Egyptian flints, because in Egypt there is a lot of various kinds of flints, and the source of flints is Eocene. There are Eocene Theban limestones, which look like at this region of Luxor. I tested at the Deir el-Bahari these flints, and there are on the left, at the left bank of Nile at many places, and they are eroded. Flints are eroded from the limestones and transported later by water of Nile up to the delta. Is plenty. East Desert does not contain rocks, does not contain flints. There are other siliceous materials, but there are not too much flints. So it means that most of flints in Egypt is originating with Theban limestones present on at the left bank of the Nile. And how it look like? This is region of Deir el-Bahari. This is well-known temple of Queen Hatshepsut, Thutmose III, and in Theban limestone, starting from the bottom of this sequence of limestones, were collected samples from levels, horizons containing flints, and samples were collected for investigation, and there was distinguished 28 horizons, even more, because there are 5A, 5B, and so on. So, and these samples look like there, starting from sample 1, just above the temple of Hatshepsut, up levels with various flints. And you see that this great diversity of flints, of color and crystallinity, and of patina and cortex and so on. But up to top of La Cime mountain, above Deir el-Bahari, there is the sequence of flints, and these flints we have next in the gravels of Nile, various, about these one types. And on the base of examination, we can say that the percentage, the composition of flints is as following: macroscopic type in percent, dark gray and green, 21%, pinkish, light pinkish, 36, and light gray, grayish, 21, and other 21. So this is composition of flints at Theban limestones. But examination of mineralogical examination of these flints show that they are mostly composed of chalcedony. This means very fine crystalline quartz. They contain slightly coarser concentrations of quartz connected with the remains, relics of organic components, skeletons of spiculas of sponga, and etc. And there are dominating types of flints, structures, mineral composition of flints present at Theban limestones. The chalcedony is main composition, my component, and together with this chalcedony we have quartz, various amounts, and the relics, siliceous and carbonates, small relics of organic components of flints. It's important that chalcedony is main component, mineralogical component of flints from Theban limestones. This is example of chemical and mineralogical analysis of flint. It's example of flint 21B. This is macroscopic description. As you see, dominating chalcedony, quartz 7.5, and small grains of carbonates, opaque minerals. All these flints are fine crystalline. And chemical composition of this flint from the level 21B look like this. I will not describe. And all these flints from all levels, flint horizons present above Theban limestones above Deir el-Bahari, was done for the comparison of flints from other sites and from flints from Jordan. How look like flints in Tel el-Farha? There is plenty of various flints. Site is localized there, and was the problem of relation between Jordan flints and flints from Tel el-Farha. If people transported this material in Neolithic. So this is a photo of archaeological site at Delta. The chief is coming, Krzysztof Ciałowicz, professor, and this is East Com A, where was discovered many of various objects and implements, etc. But this is archaeology, and was discovered a lot of flints, implements made of various kinds of flints, and all these kinds of flints were examined, were tested mineralogically. And what we see that in Delta, in Tel el-Farha, are dominating flints composed of chalcedony. This is very well seen, these small grains, light, and so, containing small admixture of coarser grains of quartz, as there are there. All these flints were examined as material for comparison with Jordan flint. And there is example of flint. Example 1, it's Egypt Tel El-Faha, flint number 1, and was plenty of various kinds of flints were examined, and data were collected in the tables for computer comparison of this data, 36 features. And this flint F1, light pinkish, as we saw in Deir el-Bahari, it's present, color in ultraviolet light, patina light, intercalation small rare spots, macroscopically. Gloss matte, frequency, transparency, no transparent, cleavage, very good, fracture, conchoidal, and mineral composition, chalcedony, quartz, opal, etc. And this is grain size composition of flint number 1 and chemistry of this flint. And next, flint number 2, light gray, etc. is description, and similar as in flint 1 and other flints from Tel el-Faha, main component is chalcedony. It means very fine crystalline quartz. Grain size composition and mineral and chemistry. How look like situation in Tel el-Umeiri? Tel el-Umeiri is Jordan archaeological site from Jordan, located northeast from bank of Dead Sea at this area. Geologically, it's located on the surface of weathered Senonian Cretaceous limestone, this color. There are Cretaceous limestone. And picture is taken from colleagues, and it is shown in computer programs. And this is region of Tel el-Umeiri site. There was discovered by American, Canadian mission and other archaeologists plenty of interesting things, but for me most interesting were flints. And from Samalek and other, 2024, were selected geological horizons where are present flints, Eocene, Tertiary, Cretaceous, and this is Cretaceous horizon, Campanian, Maastrichtian, where are flints. From other published data, we know that flints at this area appeared in Tertiary Eocene sediments, this is this blue arrow, and are present in Cretaceous horizons. Judea group in Israel, it's well known. This is formation, the rocks from this formation, limestone, were used for the building of many houses and temples in Jerusalem. And this is second horizon with flint. So there are sources of flints. These flints, transported to me by Dr. Elizabeth Dubis, were taken for mineralogical examination using various methods and mostly polarizing line microscopy, and even macroscopically these flints are not similar to flints present in Tel el-Farha. There are typical examples of flints from Tel el-Umayri. So these flints are composed mostly of opal. So it is not crystalline, silica, hydrated, and so on. And pictures are typical for these minerals. Admixture of chalcedony, these small grains, is small, is a few up to 20–25%. And flints from Jordan, from Tel el-Umayri, from this area, contain inclusions of opaque minerals, mostly iron oxides, like there, or iron sulfides, like there. And mineralogical analysis of flints from Tel el-Umayri, from Jordan, examples are shown there. Jordan, Tel el-Umayri, flint 1, and there is macroscopic description and microscopic analysis. These data are obtained after counting of 1,000 grains using microscope. So, as you see, dominating is opal. There is chalcedony, but not too much. Tel el-Umayri, flint number 2, as we see, opal is again very high component. The amount of opal is great. And there is grain size composition from Jordan, flint number 2, light gray. And next, flint number 3. This is slightly more chalcedony, but opal is still, amount of opal is still great. It's 32%. Flint number 4, light brownish, and so on, so on. Opal 52%, more than half, slightly more than half. Grain size analyzed and chemistry. And flint number 5 from Jordan, Tel el-Umayri. This is opal 20%. This contains much more chalcedony, but not as much as Egyptian. Egyptian contain 90%, about 90%, and this from Tel el-Umayri, area of Tel el-Umayri 65. And next is dark brown, containing a lot of opaque inclusions. This is macroscopic description. Contain chalcedony, opal, and relatively high amount of quartz. All this data from Nile el-Bahari and from Tel el-Farha, as well from Tel el-Umayri, from Jordan, were analyzed using computer program prepared in Poland at Academy of Mining and Metallurgy in Krakow by me and my colleague. And after analysis of 35 features of each sample from each tested site, we may say that similarity of Jordan flints to flints from Tel el-Farha is less than 41%. It means less than 50%. This means that there are no similarity, because similarity is bigger when this percentage is above 50%. So it means that during Neolithic time, flints from Jordan were from this area, northeast from Dead Sea, were not transported to region of Delta where we examined when we tested for Tel El Farha. Maybe from other regions of Jordan, especially from South Jordan near Aqaba. There are flints too, but I had no samples for comparison. Maybe from this area samples of flints were transported to Delta, but for this we didn't make any analysis. And it was an interesting example of the comparison using computer technique, because generally opinion of archaeologists about similarity is done on the basis of macroscopic features. Oh, this is yellow and this is yellow, maybe these samples are similar. But there we did examination, macroscopic feature, microscopic feature, chemistry, and on the basis of this data, using computer program named flint program, we did a comparison, and we know that flints from region of Tel El Umeiri, West Jordan, are not similar to flints we have in Tel El Farha in Delta of Nile. So, thank you for listening. An invitation for next meeting. Welcome. Thank you very much. There is small literature if one is interested concerning mostly flints, cherts, these problems. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.